One of the picks you didn't feel as good about when looking at the TNC lineup, and we've talked a little bit about some of the issues they've had. What are the strengths that TNC is going to have going into
TNC's
strengths? I don't know. They seem underprepared. I really don't think Darkseer with the Queen of Pain and Lunacore is the direction anybody wants to be taking this turn. So I'm a little bit worried for them. Their Game 2 draft against LFY was not very good in my opinion either.
I think they actually might try to go back to one of the drafts that they had before with Jack Hero and try to do something like that, because now they actually try to do something with a lot of team fight and it didn't work out. So they might try a different approach this game.
Well, OG really seems in their element. They're picking drafts centering around Anand, letting him go off every single game. And TNC, though, really needs to pull their drafting with more focus because they still haven't had the best opportunity for their players yet. With that, it's game number 2 between OG and TNC.
TNC with the first pick this game, snagging away the Jerax Earth Spirit, giving that to, was it Tim's? Tim's Earth Spirit? He's like one of the best Earth Spirits as well, right?
Exactly.
I know you're excited about that. I've heard you talk about that multiple times.
10 seconds
remaining. I think he rivals Jerax, I would say. Yeah, that's the first hero that...
That's a compliment. Rivals Jerax. That's good enough, right?
Yep.
Instant first 2 picks for OG. Naga, Disruptor. And Disruptor has been probably the biggest playmaker we saw on day 1 of the main event.
Naga is very good against Earth Spirit in that sense that if actually Earth Spirit commits his ultimate and Naga sleeps, you won't have time to refresh the ultimate with his stones on Earth Spirit. So it's a good counter. It's kind of like Void, as we've been talking about the other days, that Naga is good against him.
It's also, Naga is a pretty easy hero to go Guardian Greaves with. Just remove silences and Earth Spirit ult, whatever you need to get rid of.
So we saw Naga pick, I think, a decent amount yesterday, but it didn't have that great of success. I think the Naga Disruptor and Naga Enigma is really where you want to go to with this hero, so you can overwhelmingly win a team. We saw Naga Siren into Arrow, which is only 1 target. You can play around it, but Naga Siren Disruptor, especially when he gets Ags, if it gets 40 minutes plus, it's almost like guaranteed win.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest turnarounds we saw in EG's very first game yesterday. Naga Siren for EG, instantly countered by a follow-up Disruptor. And Shadow Demon, is this the first appearance he's made in
he was picked
ages?
Yeah,
seems like ages.
He is one of the heroes that hasn't been picked a lot this tournament, and I don't really like him that much.
I don't think so either. I don't think he's very strong. I think they nerfed his disruption illusions quite a bit.
And the poison in the early game that you can't really zone out to your opponent with it.
Yeah, he's really weak. I'm curious to see. Obviously, they definitely. I hope they have a plan for this hero. He's worked well in the past with Shadow Demon Luna, Shadow Demon Morphling.
Might even see a Spectre come out too. I think has that hero even been picked yet? I don't think there's that many heroes Shadow Demon works well with. It's like PL, AM, Spectre, Luna.
Yeah, I've seen like some roaming supports like Shadow Demon, Lina, that kind of thing. So maybe they want to try like do some dueling with like a Lina mid or a Leshrac mid, where Shadow Demon can set up.
I think TNC plays him more defensively. I think 14-37 plays him not so aggressive, so I think he's just gonna try to sneak around and could rather try to turn ganks.
You can disrupt somebody who's stuck in Disruptor ult, but I think there's probably better heroes for that.
Answering one of your earlier questions, Spectre is indeed one of the 4 heroes that has not yet been picked entire tournament. Thane, Spectre, Tiny, and Wraith King. Shadow Demon only chosen 7 times, but has won almost all those games.
Well, that'd be an impressive prediction, Ben, if they do go for the Spectre.
I just remember from majors, he had like 20 kills or something.
I think Raven?
Yeah, I think he had like 26 or 27. It was something absurd.
Spectre is the hero to do things like that, if he ever gets picked.
Actually, why is Spectre being passed over so often?
His ultimate is, his cooldown is like 180 seconds on level 1.
Is that much?
Yeah, I think 3 minutes, so that's like too long for him to...
Way too slow.
Yeah.
Essentially puts him in the position where he can only influence one team fight every once in a while, and it doesn't get to...
A little too slow, and also not very strong in lane. We've seen a lot, like we saw last game, Necrophos up solo against that Darkseer. Incredibly strong laner.
Earthshaker is a sensible pick, not just due to his strength, but of course Shadow Demon summons 2 clones with abilities.
They usually pick them with illusion heroes. It's natural for you to want to pick Shaker in case they do like a PL, which has been super popular.
PL's great versus Disruptor, right? You can bounce out a glimpse with
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger.
OG's turn to pick.
And it's a pretty long time also too that you're out of the game, the Doppelganger.
I think I've seen TNC play this hero earlier in the group stages, and I wasn't super impressed with it. I've been quite underwhelmed with Clockwork throughout this entire tournament. I don't think he rised in
10 seconds
It rise in favor as like this new like melee 4 position, but here they're going to be playing it as a 3 most likely.
They're gonna need to pick a lot of damage on their last 2 heroes because
Yeah.
like they don't have any burst on either Shadow Demon or Earth Spirit, and Clockwork, like he really wants to kill someone when he hooks in and cogs.
And now he can just get glimpsed out, or they can sleep and just reset. But he's good for Earthshaker.
The Earthshaker is a good pick for OG here as well because Shadow Demon is quite good at catching people if you go too far out on the lane. And since Earthshaker can block the lane with his Fissure to be able to get the lane back and farm safely under the tower, it's a good counter to that.
So it seems like both of you guys favor TNC's, or sorry, OG's draft a little bit more. What are the good things about TNC? If any.
I don't really see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to these next 2 picks to really show me the direction that they're going in. However, I'm just not a big believer in the Shadow Demon hero. I didn't mind the Earth Spirit first pick, but having Clockwork as a 3rd pick, I think they're really just depending on Earth Spirit to fight. I don't know how much you can rely on Clockwork to beat your catch throughout a game.
And I mean, looking at OG's obviously the huge team fight in the form of Disruptor and Earthshaker, and you talked about how it's kind of unclear what TNC is strong at this point. Is this an unusual position to be in for TNC, or does this sort of opening happen sometimes and it's completely clarified with the last 2 picks?
They probably have a plan, yeah, to like fill out the 2 spots. They won't come into this game without a plan, so it's just more that we don't really know what they're gonna do.
I think they think quite differently than we do, and so it's hard for us to really kind of put a finger on what they're going for.
But here when OG picks Legion, then it seems it's Legion offlane and Shaker support. Is that a Naga for them? Or is it
Otel could play LC.
Okay, yeah,
It's a hero
it's
that
quite
he
good
played.
against Clock, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
it's still quite open for them. They can do like anything.
This is that 4th pick that's tough to do. Kind of
4th pick for TNC.
4th pick for OG. They just don't have a lot of information on any, they don't have information on any of the cores for TNC, and they have to pick one of their own.
Luna once again.
At least now they have the combo with SD Luna, which has been very successful in the past, but after Shadow Demon was nerfed a bit, it hasn't been so popular, but it can still win games for sure.
I feel like needs a BKB again though.
He definitely does need BT. The nice thing about Shadow Demon Luna is that Shadow Demon can disrupt the Luna and send illusions down certain lanes and can farm those without actually being there. In games like this, you know, I love playing Shadow Demon and Shadow Demon Luna combos because you get so much farm on Shadow Demon. These Luna illusions just clear waves in jungle incredibly quickly.
Sometimes you get killed from the lanes when people try to defend against the
Yeah,
illusions.
dude, the illusions are no joke.
TNC's turn to ban.
I mean, OG set up for the illusions here with the Legion Commander as well. She's very good at killing the illusions with her nuke.
Overwhelming odds. Yeah.
Of course, Anti-Mage and Terrorblade banned
10
by OG.
seconds remaining.
Invoker still seems pretty decent. I guess they could be worried about the push coming out from TNC, however, with the Pugna last pick, but I mean, OG.
Saving Anna's last hero for last, definitely putting in mid, putting Notel on some softer carry. I think OG is really identifying what works for them. I like their chances in this tournament moving forward, especially in this game.
They could still shake your mid as well, right?
They could. I think in all likelihood they're going to want a little bit of a harder carry. And I guess, you know, you could say that and you could put the harder carry in a safe lane. But I just want to see Anna mid on a hard carry.
Out.
That is not a good matchup for Shaker as well. So.
That's sniper time if I've ever seen it.
Oh, interesting. Talk to me about the sniper play.
Oh, sniper. Yeah, sniper works really well against Luna because you're very far range. Luna, short attack range, wants to get in nice and close. Sniper's one of the few heroes that can actually contest OD in lane. He is a natural hurricane pipe builder to hop out of the clockwork cogs, and he's got some teammates to back him up. I doubt it's going to get picked. I guess I'm just a sniper fan.
More common options are Storm,
Lina.
Invoker ban.
That's not scary enough. With Lina, I guess.
Lina, Shadow Queen,
Lina could work.
Razor.
And the pick for Ana. Templar Assassin.
Way less exciting than Sniper, but a very good pick.
Oh, he has the log cosmetic. Ugh.
Ana's on a hard carry in the mid lane. I like it.
Well, game 2 is about to be underway. TNC lags behind 0-1 OG. Been unable to have success here at TI, and maybe this is their time to shine. Let's go down to the casters for game 2.
Lumi, our panel, they do not believe in TNC. They think the road ends here. OG will get their revenge. They've got the more comfortable draft. They seem to have a clear play style that they want to employ, and hell, they come in with the 1-0 advantage, perhaps a little morale boost.
Yeah,
you believe in TNC.
I mean, TNC hasn't been doing well. They lost their last group stage match against LGD, I believe, 0-2. They got 0-2 yesterday by LFY. Today hasn't started well. But, the panel also doubted VP's picks yesterday, and they didn't work. So, who knows?
True.
Let's see if TNC could make this work, and they have to. This is their last shot.
What does our panel know anyway? At least that is the hope for the pride of the Philippines. TNC representing their homelands here on the big stage. OG, how about their draft this time around? Do you any weaknesses that you see, anything that TNC could potentially exploit as they come in looking like the underdogs?
I think OG's lineup starts very slowly. Ana on the Templar Assassin, good laning hero, but does need to stack Ancients, does need to farm the Ancients. And then your off lane, you have the LC, does need to find the Blink. Naga, we know what she does. Takes a while to get online. So I think there's a good kind of 10-15 minutes for TNC to kind of poke and prod them. And you got one of the most aggressive offlane hero, Clockwork, to do so. Yeah, he's kind of hit and miss, but you got to hit now. This is the time to go, and Sam H has got the hero to do it.
Many of you who are just tuning in for TI may have missed it, but Shadow Demon Lona was a scourge for months and months, to the point that pretty much every pro player was crying out, not just in their matches, but also in pubs, please, nerf this combo. I can't take it any longer. How much weaker is it now, Lumi? Obviously, TNC still think it's viable. So, do you view it that same way? Are there any new weaknesses to the duo that could be exploited by OG?
We'll discuss that later, as now the initiation comes in against 0-4, S4.
They do might be starting off 0-1 here at the way things are going.
Where's the stun, though?
Too tanky. No disables. They do have the Astral Imprisonment, but now OG are actually coming back in. They want to catch out Cuckoo. TNC just didn't have the follow-up. Sam H now dropping the cogs. He wants to get away. Tims is a bit late out of there, and Cuckoo's almost dead. Jerax coming in, can't quite finish him. Instead, he's mauling Raven here, forcing him back with the boots advantage. Cuckoo goes for the roach deny. He gets bashed, and S4 jams it in for a first blood. A catastrophe for TNC in the pit.
Critical mistake there by TNC. They went in, they got the initiation, but Sam H wasn't in position to use his cogs.
They're still chasing. They're
going to lose runes out of this. They gave a first blood. They're going to lose a bounty rune. Sam H is going in for this. He's going to get off a cog. They're going to jump in, cog a couple people out. Who got the runes? It's going to be going towards OG.
And they get the kills though. Fly is pretty low, but No-Tail's in position with the help of Jerax. Don't know that they can even bring the Disruptor down. Tims is still chasing for this. They recognize Jerax is out of mana, so there are no more fissures here. TNC are not ready to let OG go home easy. Tims with the man mode roll forward. 14:37 gets the job done. Tims tries to get away. He will end up falling. Fly one last auto attack brings him down. 2-1 to start. First blood to OG. The rune advantage not there. It was a 2-for-2 bounty rune trade, but unconventional heroes perhaps snagging a few of them here for TNC.
Sam H still in a little bit of trouble up top, eats a Thunder Strike as well. Simultaneously on the mid lane, Disruption coming in. Can they actually get this kill? Ana looks like will be going down. In fact, he does. Last hit going to Cuckoo.
Started with that early point in the side blades. Normally what you see, you just want to go the last hit, but of course, not have the refraction that could have saved him there as TNC.
Top lane.
Top fissure, top lane on Sam H. The chase is on. He gets away to safety. A very chaotic start here, Lumi. So let's look at the lanes a little bit as things calm down. We're going to see a 2-1-2 set up potentially for TNC, depending on where 14:37 ends up going with his Shadow Demon, still an open question there, but as far as the laning stage goes, last game it felt like Jerax just was the solution. Aside from some Sand King roam, do you see TNC committing to that level of ganking again? Do you see OG able to deal with it?
Well, the whole lineup is to have Tims kind of come online early, get a lot of ganks off, and then follow it up with the Clockwork hitting level 6, right? So when you picture that, Sand King is probably the perfect hero to be in the lanes, drop up that long-range fissure as a defensive tool to kind of stop the initiation power of TNC. And if you just look at the lanes a little bit closely, the fact that S4 got first blood with his overwhelming odds, he gets to start the bottom lane with Poor Man's Shield and Boots and Quelling Blade, and he gets levels out of this. So I think the fact that S4 had that kind of start is a big reason why I think OG is going to be fine in the early game, despite having a very greedy laning draft.
OG, for now at least, getting the nice start here on Ana mid. Already 12 CS, 1437 does lurk in the trees. Generally, with the TA, you see a lot of Ancient stacking as well. Already a single double stack has been created, so OG getting off to a good start there.
We're going to see initiation mid, disruption into a row in.
No Earthshaker in position. Ana, though, has the refraction.
Ooh.
Now the disruption comes through right as the boulder smash was timed up. Still he's taking heavy damage here. They're going to need more, but the fissure arrives in time. Jerax was sweeping towards bottom.
And that's exactly what I mean.
But came back mid.
You know the offense is coming. Jerax, all he needs to do is defend the mid and perhaps bottom a little bit. Make sure you stack for your team. His job is just exactly what he did in game 1, being in the right place at the right time.
And with Earthshaker, it's easier because you have such a crazy long initiation or counter initiation range, as it were in this case.
I wouldn't say easier because Earth Spirit, you could get to places a little bit faster as well for your role. So I think both heroes are quite good, but Shaker is just better for defensive purposes.
Yeah, which is really what they're relying on here. TNC,
Yep.
the aggressors for now. You see Sam H also making an aggressive move of his own up in this top lane, trying to force fly away. So far, so good for OG elsewhere. No Tail at 21 CS. The Legion commanders at 20. They got to slow S4 down, but he just easily presses the attack and backs away to safety.
Fissure blocks off Tims a little bit, but he's going to be fine. I mean, they would like to stop S4, but they really can't, given the start that he had with the first blood and the items that he got after that. So
Let me compare him to Sam H.
Yep.
Sam H is 3-8 as far as CS goes. S4 is 20-1.
you could make the argument that the CS is not as important for the Clockwork. He's more interested in levels, because once he gets level 6, with his skills alone, he'll be able to find support kills. Shaker's a free pick. You can make the argument that Disruptor is a free pick as well before he gets off his glimpse. Let's say he's like, you know, low HP, gets chain stun, that kind of stuff. And the other really nice thing about TNC's lineup is that they have a lot of save. You know, last game we keep saying that that's one of their weaknesses. They don't have any. You got Disruption. You got Astro Prism.
Tims, nice little snag there tonight. Ana, his precious regen rune, now wants to get away. Can tank a club. Follow-up fissure comes through. Tims still sticking around though. Just have that rolling boulder ready for a rainy day. We'll back out to safety. So doing his part to try and shore up this mid lane. I think an OG fan would say, we'll take the gold.
No Tail waving his arms about. Finally we'll get off the mirror image.
Yeah, not really the easiest kill for a Clockwork at this stage. Perhaps if we see the Earth Spear rotate that way.
One thing I do want to mention is that in the last month or so, your Clockwork player, Sam H, has really been the sacrificial lamb. Hold that thought here as we jump in the mid lane to hit
Huge commitment
on Nana, but yeah, no kill.
Bit short of the refraction mana.
Yeah, they always kind of leave Sam H on a cliff by himself. There's no help ever sent to him. And he's on a very important role this game. He is expected to find level 6 and convert it to kills without any help.
Your two other cores are mainly just farmers, OD and Luna. So you're relying on that Clockwork combined with the Earth Spirit to make all the plays early.
Fly juking about among the creep waves, so the battery assault damage will get spread out and not
Bring
onto
in
it.
a third though, they get off the net, and now they try to converge on Sam H here, trapped between a rock, a hard place, and a totem. Fly will bring it down, and meanwhile they're looking for S4 as well, but he's a bit tankier, not the easiest kill. Still, they pursue him out, the Shadow Poison stack up, they're gonna need more damage, a little bit more, a third poison, and a Lucent Beam. TNC's persistence is rewarded.
And what we saw just there is what Ake brought up during the panel. You know, you got a lot of chain stuns. The aura gives the rest of the team a ton of right-click damage, and even through the Poor Man's Shield, they were able to chase them down.
Let's talk about the Shadow Demon, Luna. We haven't seen him much, really at all.
Yeah.
In
I believe
any
you were
scenario.
asking about the SD Luna, and then
Yeah,
the
but
level 1 mayhem broke out.
But I also want to just talk about the build, because I have seen a few SD picks where, you know, you're leveling up your Soul Catcher early, you're just going for kills. Are you expecting that type of build at 1437?
I think because their aggression has to come so early, the Soul Catcher max is very, very good for that kind of gameplay. But they also have the SD Luna, so I think it's one of those scenarios where 1437 could take it in multiple different directions depending on what he values. Like, does he want to get kills early, or does he want to have a little bit more mid-game farming power? We're going to get answered really quick as he levels up to 4 and 5.
Oh, Tim's a juicy stack being created here. Something that OG would love to contest. As they do scout Raven moving in. He's not level 6 yet, so potentially they could jump him here. JerX comes in from behind. It is nighttime. They haven't seen this gang that's forming, and Tim's will be the one they look to take down, but he gets up the boulder smash. He rolls away, tries to anyway. Fly there with the interrupt. They have the duel. The disruption prevents it, but not long enough. S4, he's the winner, and he'll get that +10.
I think he definitely wanted to duel his ally there just to prevent the duel win, but I guess spells are queued up a little bit too early, and unfortunately they give the 10 damage to the LC. And that's a crazy thing here, right? S4 hits level 6 before the Luna. Had Luna had Eclipser, I think that fight goes completely a different direction.
But give OG the credit for identifying their timings as well.
Yep.
Knowing when they can go in, TNC trying to do the same thing. You could see, as mentioned, stacks are important, and look at the positioning to fly. If TNC want to gank these, they're going to have to take the long way around. 1437 gets that ward up on the high ground. They know this is happening, but Fly also knows they're coming. He reveals Theban. And unlikely that TNC can actually make it up this cliff. They might try, though. They're going to roll in. Now look for the boulder smash, potentially. Tim's, though, he gets the 2-hero connection, but where's the follow-up damage? They need more. S4 comes in, head full of steam, and already they've brought down Tim's. They might get Cuckoo, too. Commits forward, but the duel says no. S4, 2 for 2. Very early.
I can't help but feel like TNC is just forcing too much. They're charging up a hill into a shrine.
Almost desperate, even.
Yeah.
And OG are just sitting back and raking in the gold. A 2K gold lead, a 2K experience lead. That's before these Ancients are cleaned up. They're only going to get farther ahead, Lumi.
Yeah, I think they definitely needed the Clockwork level 6 and the hook shot if they want to take a fight in a position like that.
He came in, he actually whiffed the hook. So they even committed his early rotation unsuccessfully. But they're still going to keep on contesting. TNC committing forward. Want to try and steal these Ancients, at least deny them to Ana for now. They are leaving Raven bottom in the meanwhile. On his own, not bringing the Luna to the early fight. The Eclipse was already committed previously.
Ana, will you get called? Do they have detection for it?
Doesn't seem like they can do much to kill him off. 1437 finally forced to TP up top because No-Tail is just casually pushing there. There's not just the TA in this game. There's other carries to worry about. They do set up on mid. Boulder Smash comes through. They need to kill up JerX, but he gets up the fissure. Rolling Boulder forward. Tim's commitment. They'll get JerX as the kill, but they might lose Cuckoo again. He's in danger. He's finished off. Flies on a killing spree. And TNC are pressing this way too hard. OG might get more. The trap comes out. Tim's going for the deny, and he'll be denied in that effort as OG crack open another kill and extend that lead. Nearly 3,000 gold. Still the Ancients there for the taking. What a train wreck for TNC.
I do believe that Raven let loose the Eclipse during that time and was able to pick up a kill, so a little bit of something for the Luna, but still though, the overall game plan for TNC is get ahead early. They're falling behind in CS. They're falling behind in kills. They have not stopped or slowed down the Naga Siren. S4 is going off. He's about to finish his Blink Dagger. Every checkmark that TNC wanted to get from the laning stage
is a big red X.
Yeah.
Can TNC change the game plan? They're queuing up a Midas here on the OD. We do see Sam H trying to find JerX in the trees. The battery assault coming through.
Okay.
Fissure whiffs.
Takes the rune. All right.
Might back away. A little space created as OG send in 3 towards that mid lane. But can they change it, Lumi? Can they slow down? They have Shadow Demon Luna. They're trying to build a Midas on the OD. Is the game plan adjustable, or do you feel like they're really just committed to this type of play?
Hold that dog. Mid lane fight breaks out again here. Ana shouldn't die from this. They do have both OD and Luna, so they definitely could scale. Even though the Radiance is coming online, got to keep in mind that Shadow Demon can just take a Naga illusion for himself as well and make more. So I definitely think TNC has a hero to scale. I'm more worried about the way that they're playing right now. They seem very desperate. Their ganks are not connecting.
They're
a lot of
looking on
spells are
mid. They're
missing.
going to dive on it now. Blink Dagger comes out from the Legion. Fly's coming in as well. There's the Cog connection. They need the fall damage. The Static Storm committed. Fissure on top. On the wrong side, TNC should be able to retreat, but Sam H is going to go down. And they even bring in the Luna for this. The duel comes through, an instant win. Number 3 for S4, and the chase is on.
Trap.
1437's low. He does not have the disruption available any longer. OG on point with these rotations. They keep the TA alive. They force the Luna rotation. For TNC, at least she holds Eclipse, but again, it's TNC pressing, it's OG reacting just right, and also farming elsewhere. No Tails, just sitting top. As you mentioned, a fast Radiance is on the menu, unless they can kill him here. They'll try for it with the Magnetize. Boulder smash forward. No Tail will go down. Still though, 3,500 gold bank, even after that death. This is a fast relic.
Bottom side here, Cuckoo gonna get surrounded from all sides. Are we gonna see a duel? Still on cooldown for a couple seconds here, but now
mana, the ODO gets deployed, but they still stay alive. Now 1437 coming in with the Shadow Poison, but OG just look to retreat. They need this Boulder Smash to connect. The glimpses there, dragging the Earth Spirit away from the fight, and in fact all the way back to his own shrine. So OG looks like get out scot-free again. TNC can't catch a break.
yeah, I mean, having spells like Astral Imprisonment and Disruption, very good on save, but when you use them to set up kills, it gives the other team a lot of time to respond, whether it's TP more heroes in or just set up an escape.
It's not like a Centaur Stomp double edge.
Exactly, it's just not very fast. Normally, Shadow Demon is paired up with a strong nuker, let's say Kunkka or Lina, and then use that Shadow Demon amp to get the quick kill, but he's not going for that game plan. In fact, you were asking what spell he's going to level up. He's going to go for the Shadow Poison max. When you're playing alongside an OD and you're just spamming away the Shadow Poison, you will get a lot of mana back. So I can see the beauty in that. But right now for this phase of the game, I don't know if it's really helping him. As he gets ensnared, he will disrupt himself and buy a little bit of time. Here comes the Clockwork.
They're going to fight this. Good hope by Sam H. Is able to keep Fly back. The Glimpse is already committed. The Static Storm available. They're bringing in more reinforcements. Do OG commit to this? They have the song. Raven has the Eclipse. He lets it go. No Tail's been called out. Jarek's in danger as well. From the side comes Cuckoo, but go to sleep, TNC. Take a nap. And OG want to get out of there, and it looks like they will. There is no further flank coming.
Yeah, without the Clockwork Hook, that is all of their long-range catch. I mean, Earth Spirit could maybe row in and get off a kick, but he's also not in the fight. I'm very worried for TNC. This, the first 13, 14 minutes was their timing window to get ahead. They have not gone ahead, and I think this is going to be where OG starts to slowly take over and win with the Naga.
Well, you've got a Relic already coming out on the Naga Siren, working towards a fast Radiance. The TA, Blink picked up, Deso next on the list. Can TNC even keep up here in the farm department? Their OD still doesn't have a Midas. They continue to die. And OG now stealing some stacks too. It's not just been OG fighting well, Lumi, like their balance of fight and farm has been superb in both games so far. As the economy continues to ramp up. They might even look for a dive here with that Blink on Ana. Creeps, TNC's best friend right now, but with no Eclipse, do they want to take this fight? Not sure the TNC are in the best combat position at the moment. They're gonna bring Sam H in though. Cuckoo's in the neighborhood, so they do have 5 bottom, but this is something OG mostly are aware of, courtesy of that deep ward they planted in the Radiant jungle. So they can back away and go back to farming, and that's exactly what they'll do.
Well, one ray of hope is that Cuckoo does have the Midas queued up, so he's gearing up for a long game. I think we got to start talking about what is their game plan versus the Naga illusion, because I think we're kind of shifting into that phase of the game. So first of all, Cuckoo on the OD, he could kind of blow up these Naga illusions very easily. Shadow Demon could make some of his own by disrupting the Naga illusions, and Raven should be able to clear them out as well. So in terms of that, I think TNC, now their secondary game plan is to just bunker down, farm for 40 minutes, and hope that they could go late. Because I think the early game dominance option is completely out of the window already.
Of course, they'd be a lot further along if they'd geared up to do it from the start, right? Like they could have just kind of let OG have their stacks, let OG find their farm, and focus on theirs, but now they are climbing up a cliff to try and get back into it. Still good news for TNC also is that these tier 1s are up. Tier 1's up mid, tier 1's up bottom. They're relatively healthy for now, so they can still at least farm their jungle. They can play a little greedier with the Midas, with the Luna factor, as long as they don't lose any crucial fights.
Well, TNC smoked under an observer again.
Radiance is online now. No-Tell planting an illusion towards mid. The team always clustering around Ana as Raven about to have his smoke revealed. OG come in from the high ground. Eclipse, no, just at least for now, Elusive Beam. Now the hook forward, insta-glimpse back, flies there with the save. Now Raven committing the Eclipse, rains down the ODO2. They get both cores. Huge opportunity for TNC now.
I think what No-Tell wanted to do is he walked in here and kept trying to use his song to set up a team fight, but the chain stun from TNC was so on point and the burst damage to back it up. Finally, something good going for TNC. Can they get an objective out of this?
They know they have to make something happen now, use this timing window, and they're going to try it. Tims rolls in, finds the Shaker. Hey, Jerax, now the Lucent Beam too. Fissure comes out, Jerax tries to get away, meanwhile the Static Storm. Dual victory denied. Last second, Banish is there. The turn on to S4. Another Banish, still stalling, still fighting. He lives!
Thunderstrike.
Who survived?
Bring him down low, and now there's a random center coming in, not going to get the kill either. The fact that they have double save is going to make S4's life very, very difficult. Ana blinks in for the chase.
They're chasing Raven out. That's a long way to dive, though. They have the song ready. Traps getting planted down. Sam H has the cogs. And just the threat of those will force them away. This is something you were talking about a lot when we were just waiting for the Game 1 draft, is like the way TNC got here was just this incredibly crisp fighting. And while the early stage was bad, it looked like they're pressing it. Finally, we see what TNC is capable of here.
Look at No-Tell trying to cast a song repeatedly, or any spell rather.
A boulder smash comes in right again when he's about to mirror image and then doesn't get a chance to even go for the song.
Yeah. The critical thing for me during that fight is that Raven, or rather Cuckoo, excuse me, is going for a farming item. He escapes that big engagement alive, finishes the farming item, and now has a hood behind that. He's going to be a big force in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and he will ramp up very quickly. Hood first on OD is not something that you commonly see. So I'm very interested to hear your thought on that one.
Looking at OG right now, I guess there's just a lot of magic damage. So you've got the Shaker, the Disruptor, the Naga Radiance Burn.
Is this really a good hood game, though?
Does he complete a pipe? I mean, there's still a TA, so yeah, it's not an amazing...
I think he just like watched an MV replay and was like, okay, let's just try this, I guess. Top lane song flying off, and No-Tell's out.
Oh, there's already the level 2 song, so cooldown not as much of an issue here. And in good news for OG, they will have these windows this game, right? It's another game for TNC where they have long ultimate cooldowns. The OD ult, 160 seconds, the Luna ult, 140 seconds. Every time a team fight is taken, even if TNC win, you've got 2 minutes to pressure. So they take that bottom tier 1, they get another deep ward up on this Radiant Cliff in their own jungle, and perhaps OG can still take those fights even after losing that crucial skirmish near the Roche pit.
Yeah, I could definitely see OG, especially with the Desolator finish on Ana, they could begin to, let's say, force these ultimate on cooldown like you suggest, and then take objective, whether it's Roshan, tier 1s, tier 2s. So that's something that TNC has to be very careful about, when to use their ultimates, and they pretty much have to win their engagements when they do use it.
Cuckoo is going to rotate to join his team. They are smoked up right now. Dire Ward across the cliff to scout a bit of his movement. And OG are just playing safe, hugging near the shrine right now. Doesn't seem like TNC will find anything. But it does feel a bit different from game 1, right? Aside from the fact that it's, you know, pretty even at this stage where OG was starting to pull ahead, it's more the fact that like TNC's lineup feels like it can scale. You've got the Shadow Demon Luna Factor, they have the OD with the Midas. Sure, maybe the Hood isn't the strongest late game pickup for him. As Ana jumps in, he gets caught out. He wanted this rune, he's going to try to find an early kill, but the hook shot comes through. Big commitment coming from OG, but they won't have the song. Ana to the high ground, up and away. Will he survive? The press, the attack is there, and now the trap sprung with a Thunderdome deployed. 2 have fallen. Hood won't save the OG. Ana might still go down, though. The Magnetize keeps on going. Tims nets them the 1 kill. Does anybody bite back? They have that OD ult. The song's up soon. He's going to commit first the Clockwork, maybe more to come. Raven joining the fray as well, has the Eclipse. Jerax low. Jerax not dead though. Scurries to the low ground. Raven tries to find the angle. It's the poison that gets him. Now Fly's in danger too. OG must retreat. They do so instantly.
Even though Cuckoo died there, no dual damage was given away.
They're not done yet.
Oh,
he shoots. It won't connect.
He's got the row. No vision there though, so unfortunately. Had he hit the row, he would have earned charge to probably complete the kill.
Yeah, even with the glimpse back, I think probably Fly still dies then, but... Oh, very tense moments here for both teams. We'll have another look at this fight.
Yeah, so Ana goes right in, and good saves again. Disruption as well, Shadow Demon disruption, but that gives a lot of time for OG to come back in, and this combo play of Fissure, the Static Storm, as well as a Kinetic Field, looks like the dual victory was there, excuse me. And now the fight drags on the other side of the hill, and that's where the Shadow Demon Poison actually did a surprising amount of work.
Speaking of that Shadow Demon, while on paper it is a game where 1437 can be very farmed, at least for now, he is not. Does that start to change now? Do you see him really ramping up in terms of the item progression?
I think so. He has so much... It's so easy for him to get farmed. You know, PPD talked about how easy it is for him to get farmed when he played it next to a Luna. This game he has the option of Luna, also has the option of just getting it from the Naga as well.
Right as you say that, he just kills a full creep wave.
There you go. I'm sure, you know, Raven would have liked that creep wave, but...
That was a pretty difficult fight for TNC, but they're going to look for another. As they group up in the mid lane, hookshot just whipping it now, S4. He finds the duel, in comes the boulder smash. Still, I think he might get the kill. He will, even the winner again. Every duel completing his way. Now Sam H trapped out, glimpse back as Fly looks to wrangle him. They're going to go for more. Up the cliff and into Cuckoo. Has the hood, at least for now, to keep him alive. Raven trying to lend support with the Eclipse. Out comes the Sanities as well, but it's not enough. They've lost 3. They likely lose Raven here too. No teleport scroll. Wants to at least try and buy this Manta style. Don't think he gets that either. He's down. It's a triple for Gustav. OG surging back, finding the pickoffs and completely dismantling this TNC 5-man.
And now they go right into the Roshan. They get the Desolator, so this should be very fast before these heroes could even respawn in time. Clockwork bought back to the last fight, so his respawn time is very slow. A very unfortunate positioning for TNC, especially right from the get-go. Shadow Demon getting caught. He's supposed to be the save. He's supposed to stay on the back line. And when you start to lose Disruption and then you lose Astra Imprisonment, both your saves being initiated on in the beginning, the rest of your team just get ran down. Look at how good OG is at chasing. They got the Glimpse, they got the long-range Fissure, they got the traps. I'm going to see this one more time. As soon as the hook misses, they go in for the Shadow Demon. I think this is where TNC just needed to get out. But they decide to stay and fight, and as a result, Glimpse chases for one more kill. The Blink Daggers gets another, so not a good look for TNC.
And every time they've been fighting into OG vision, there was a ward on the hill mid. It's actually still there. Previously, when they took that fight at the bottom rune, they were fighting up a hill into a shrine. So their fight selection is often at a disadvantage.
And this is a weird one too. They're smoking into the enemy team without their ultimates.
But they do have a scan that hits pay dirt, but like you said, they're lacking the big ult, and OG's ready for this. Hook will start though. Jerax gets jumped, might just go down to this Soul Catcher. One more auto tech scores the kill. Now Sam H in too far. OD also died in the midst of that. Another win for S4, plus 72 damage with these duels, and Raven's next on the list, has no Eclipse. It's Tim to the rescue. Ties, huge combo. Is there enough damage though? They need the follow-up. 1437 playing in the Shadow Poison. Can he play the carry? 4 have fallen. It's Theban against the world, and Ana charges in. They're going to fight now at the shrine, and now they'll get the team wipe. OG. Salt in the wound here for the TNC fans. Again, fight selection, Lumi, coming back to haunt them.
Was that desperation? I'm not sure. They fought into OG, who has finished the Aegis, or got an Aegis, excuse me. They don't have both their big nukes coming online. Imagine if they just had Eclipse or Sanity's Eclipse. Look at how much damage that the Earth Spirit was able to do on his own. They just needed a little bit more.
Pressing too much. It's been a problem for TNC all game long, and now they get punished again. Sam H trying to defend a tower that's already dead. He falls as well. Look here on the chase, and they're even going to glimpse back Cuckoo. Goes for the banish.
He's going to be there. He's going to be right next to OG.
And they're still going to be able to jump him. Drops the ult. Won't even get us 4
crits in a row.
Everything just barely in favor of OG as he survives through all of that. Another death. This game is spiraling out of control, and TNC, they have to get their heads straightened out real quick.
You know, we keep talking about the ability to scale, the ability for TNC to go in the late game, but that's assuming that you don't die and give up these objectives for free. There won't be a late game if you just keep losing buildings like this.
TNC trying to hold the line here as Jerax creeps in. He's got that Blink Dagger. Go Slam ready, but really, OG can farm. They also scale well in the late game. And with this kind of advantage, you can look to starve your opponents and prevent them from even keeping up in farm. So he won't go for the jump. OG continue to progress here. We'll take a look at those items. No-Tail now picking up the Yasha, the BOTs, the Manta's coming next for him. The TA already grabbed the Crystal as BKB about to be complete. In a game where TNC don't have great answers for that BKB, they can maybe cog him and just try and ignore him in fights. They can try and stall with these banishes, but
Demonic Purge is probably the best they got, but
they're not killing him.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
yeah. Not through Song, not through like press the attack, all that stuff. For TNC, I think the most important item is going to be Ravens, because not only is he scaling for himself, he's also scaling for the Shadow Demon, right? The Shadow Demon Luna combo really takes off once you have a butterfly for the Luna. That's when the illusions are really, really hard to kill, and you know they mow down creep waves very quickly.
But they have to balance that with staying alive.
Exactly.
And the
So
butterfly will not help you in these big team fights nearly as much.
he has to go for BKB first just to survive in these team fights, like you suggest, and then after that it's butterfly. But that's like 10k gold for Raven. So I think OG still has a lot of time to play the game that they want to play, whether it's wait for the next Roshan or just start constricting the map.
I don't know that we've seen a more successful off-lane Legion this tournament. S4 9-2-6, and did it largely without any help from the team.
Again, that level 1 first blood that he got was so fortunate, and how chaotic that fight was. He got the first blood, had the boots right from the get-go, and he just laned against Luna 1v1 for like 2 minutes, because everyone was still fighting.
Now, OG look to break the base. They look for the 2-0. TNC, it's desperation mode now. OG, that sweet,
It just gave him a
sweet
tier 3
revenge.
for free.
Could be theirs. Boulder smash, a wayward shot. Tims won't connect, and now OG look to move in deeper. They want this melee, look for the duel. The blade mail gets popped, the press the attack sounded. But OG are gonna back away. The Luna army is starting to ramp up, forces them on their heels. Now Tims looks to move, but the song comes out. And suddenly he's in deep. No-Tail with the positioning, keeping the rest of the team away, but still 14-37, ready to save the day. He gets up the blink, the disruption as well. OG are actually being forced back here with the Magnetize coming through. Can they pursue? The duel is still ready. Roll in, commitment, one hero shot, almost got 2. Now the echo from Jerax, a dagger through the heart of Filipino Dodo. OG takedown 4. Samates, the lone survivor. And back to the base, and back to objectives, and on in the lower bracket. OG sounds the call. They are close, Lumi, but a little overeager. They will need these creeps to march in, and finally the creeps arrive. The melee falls, the range next on the list.
They could just go mid. They have so much damage with the Desolator. They have to press the attack to rejuvenate the heroes. Yeah, they're going to keep going. 25 seconds till the Luna. A Luna that comes back with no ultimate. An OD that comes back that needs to get up in before he could do a ton of damage. I think this is going to be 2 lanes of Rax at least.
2 lanes, probably all for now, and given what's at stake, you have to imagine TNC are going to fight this to the bitter end. Twice this TI, and I believe 3 times in TI history, we have seen Mega Creep comebacks.
Well, we're going to see an Echo Slam, and this one hits right on the OD. Gets him before he uses any of his spells. Great Static Storm as a follow-up. Eclipse doing absolutely nothing.
Also interrupted the Eclipse mid-cast animation, so it came out late. It came out when OG could select how they wanted to approach the fight. Huge opportunity there, and Jerax completely nails it.
Yeah, and again, TNC was using spells like Disruption as well as Astral Imprisonment as an initiation, and thus they didn't have it to be used defensively. Now, granted, TNC does have a very good lineup for repelling big creeps. You got the Luna, you got the Shadow Demon illusion that could make more Luna, so technically they could hold against these 2 upgraded creeps on both mid and bottom for a long time.
But I do think it's like you said, this Luna, she's just not that big yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a single tier 4 item. I guess the Manta's the closest thing. But you need that 1 damage item to really start taking off that allows the illusion to scale, and that usually is the butterfly. As Ana lies in wait, he's got a BKB. Banish was already used. They could jump on Cuckoo here. 14-37 waiting in reserve, but as he TPs away, it's an alarming moment for TNC fans. He needs to get out. Trap getting dropped. Still he's in the trees. He blinks to the north.
They know.
There. The Fissure finds him.
How do they know?
Oh boy. Oh, that's a painful moment if you're this OD.
He's got a lot of time to think about life choices.
How
what
did
to
I
buy
get to this point?
what to buy before he dies, you know. The answer is not much. He's only got 500 gold.
Get some wards. They'll help you
Yeah,
see
you
this
can
OG
actually
freight
get some
train
wards.
coming for your base. It's looking very bleak. We have seen Mega Creep comebacks, but this early, with this level of farm on the team that's getting Mega'd, which they're not there yet, but you have to imagine OG are going for it next.
I mean, one of the prerequisites of Mega Crew comebacks is your ability to actually win fights, right? If you could kill OG, you could repel the creeps.
OG is winning those fights.
Exactly. I don't know if this is one of those Mega Crew comebacks, man.
A man can dream, and that's what TNC resort to now, praying for something miraculous to come their way. OG will churn through this tier 2. Ana, though, fighting through the back door. Still trying to work on it. Now the creeps arrive, and the last outer tower falls. TNC are slowly being choked out. Game 2, all OG, all the way down the stretch here. They just need one more lane, and then it's naught but the throne that stands between them and victory.
A ton of pressure from all the other side lanes as well. The Nagas, illusions are everywhere. Shadow Demon is doing a fine job defending against it, but economy-wise, TNC is not doing too well. I mean, OG could play it safe. They could wait for Roshan if they want, or just a smoke wrap around.
OG, they want to finish this one off. Swarming in onto TNC. Burning that Shadow Demon low. He's got to use the first banish defensively. Now the duel comes through onto Sam H. Churning through him. S4 finds one. Magnetize. Nope. Gonna be not available for now. And OG close it off with a static storm. More damage coming out. The Luna tries to hang on. Desperation mode. They are about to drop. The OG ult does decent work. Jarek stops. Actually the turn. Kuka with the magnetize. 3 have fallen. OG have overplayed their hand. They might lose on as well. BKB already committed. Now the banish. Look for out 2. The boulder slash on point. TNC hold the line.
Wow. Shadow Demon at the beginning of the fight was out of position, got initiated on. They had to spend the Astral on him. That means the disruption's gone, the Astral is gone. So S4 found a good jump. They were going back in, but the buyback from the Shadow Demon then turned the fight.
5,000 gold swing, and it might be more. They've even found another. Cuckoo going deep for this one. S4 pops the blade mail. Cuckoo doesn't have the damage. He needs that +1. It's not there. He will have to back away. That was a 5,000 gold swing, Lumi.
Well, we're going to watch this one more time. SC will just die, but he does buy back. The Storm pretty good here. And
perfect Eclipse. Glimmer Cape keeps the Earth Spirit alive, allows Tim to get off the Boulder Smash, then the Disruption comes through. The Magnetize is going off all the while. Tim stays alive so long, and it's like you said, that Shadow Demon buyback definitely turns it. Another question, like, should they first of all, they don't need to dive that far. They can just go for the Megas there. Secondly, the Son and BKB were overlapped, so that Ana didn't have his BKB for the follow-up fight.
yeah. To answer you, no, they didn't need to do that, but they did. So TNC getting a fight victory here. 1437, looks like he's being chased around by illusions a little bit, but he should be okay. The other big critical thing in that last team fight was that Earthshaker did absolutely nothing. He was just controlled by stun, I believe it was by the Earth Spirits, and then just got completely blown up by the OD. So as we saw, Jirax was a big contributing factor in these previous fight. The Echo Slam on the bottom lane was huge. The Fissures has been on point. If you could somehow eliminate Jirax from the fights, then I think TNC stands a much better chance. But still, though, they could not convert it into any big objective. They could not get that Roshan away. Imagine if TNC has Aegis and Cheese now. You know, you could be like, hey, they actually have a chance, but still, this is a very steep uphill climb.
Items are coming in. No Tail completing his butterfly. We'll see Ana snagging the Aegis. Cheese going to be passed off to S4, who also has a BKB now and 2k gold banked up. So OG still 25,000 gold ahead. By all rights, this game is theirs. You play this game from this point forward probably 100 times. I think OG wins 99 of those at least, Lumi, if not 100.
There's that one
and they've
time,
only
man.
got the one game.
There's that one time.
They hang on, but it's slow and steady from OG right now. They're not committing. They spread the illusions. One Naga bottom, 1437. He can't be everywhere.
He has a blink, so
he can try his best.
The problem is he has to play in such a forward position to constantly make these illusions, steal Naga illusions, all that stuff.
And that's where like a glimpse potentially setting up a
Link
duel
duel,
can really punish you.
Fissure, like there's just so much long-range initiation power from the side of OG.
I mean, the good news at the same time is they have that follow-up save with the OD banish, so they have another way.
Well, here's the thing, that's exactly what happened. You know, SC got initiated, OD saved him, but that's both your save gone, and then that's where S4 just jumps in and initiates, so.
It can work, but it also can just leave you helpless to protect, say, the
Exactly.
Luna, who does have a BKB now. Important to mention that. Our OD of Cuckoo building towards a Linked Sphere, it appears. You can see OG know how tenuous or quickly this game can turn. I shouldn't say it's tenuous. They're up 28,000 gold and 2 lanes of racks, but they know one more bad fight, and suddenly TNC might just be able to take them head on, and from there, you know, the game can fall apart. So they don't want to take any risks. They don't want to even give TNC a whiff of an opportunity to get back in this game. They are farming together on their side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I think OG still has a couple of fight to give. It's just that it depends on who gets the gold on the other side. Imagine if Raven gets like a rampage or 4 kills and he just finishes a butterfly. Suddenly this game changes complexion by quite a bit. I think the Luna illusions then could start to take over the game. And of course the Shadow Demon illusions as well. TNC Raven's still very far away from the butterfly. He needs to consider whether he wants to save for buyback as well, because we are at this point.
I would be pretty surprised if OG just don't actually try to take the Megas with this Aegis. They picked up another Shadow Blade. Hotel building towards a Silver Edge, it appears.
I think they're waiting for the critical items to come online. Ana is very close to finishing as the second butterfly for the team, so that would help his survivability. And this time around, Jerax has a Shadow Blade, so the game plan of kill Jerax first before the fight happens.
They have triple Shadow Blade. No-Tail's picked one up as well.
Shadow Blade? No.
That is something fresh. Doesn't have the Silver Edge yet. OG are lurking, but they are scouted out right now. S4 under a Radiant Ward. Do they want to venture outside the base? Their last fight was won near their fountain.
Waiting for Cuckoo.
Oh god. S4 still lurks. Remember, he's also got the cheese and a BKB. It really does feel like TNC need to let OG come to them if they want to take this fight. OG marching in. They'll start with a Naga illusion, quick silence, and a quicker blink out by Cuckoo. Gets him back to safety, but the tower, that can't blink away. It's dropping rapidly here. Illusions, meanwhile, are spreading the map out, dragging TNC around. They take some hefty structural damage. This next time, once that glyph gets committed, this tower is going to drop. Do TNC make their stand? When will they fight? How will they hold? Many questions for fans of this team as they are on the ropes. TI7 elimination is nigh. OG are coming for your base. They're coming for your homes. TNC must defend. The glyph forced out. A smart, staggered siege. Ana out in front. The rest of OG very far back. Sam H, he's got the vision though. He could jump on the shaker if he wants to. That ward could be huge.
Oh, in the trees, Blink Duel finds the real one. Do they have the disruption? They don't. It's Cuckoo. He's caught. He doesn't have buyback. No, he does. He's going to buy back immediately. But now the high ground.
Now looking for more. S4 cheeses up, and now the song resets the fight. Static Storm is ready. No. Here comes the combo. He gets 2. Working his way out of it is Tim's though. The Eclipse comes through, but it's a futile effort from Raven. Overwhelmed. OG take the game. Revenge is theirs. Gave their fans a small palpitation, Lumi, but no heart attacks. They hang on here.
Very beautifully played by OG. I don't think they made too many mistakes. You could say that dive, after they took 2 Raxes up, perhaps a mistake, but they were so far ahead.
And that was like